Hello and welcome to the Fantasy Challenge podcast. My name is Challen. This is episode 14, the Gameweek 11 review. We're in the international break. Thank goodness. Time for a break again. Welcome, Leighton. How are you?
I'm fantasy football wise not good. Terrible weekend.
Well, it's the
I
break
want
now,
to
so
rage quit.
you can forget about it, right?
No, I can't. I have to think about what I do next. How are you?
That's true. I'm good. No real issues this side. Fantasy football wise, obviously doing pretty well. And yeah, no complaints.
Really?
Yeah.
I hear you quite the squash player in your spare time.
I am, yeah. Managed to squash my foot on the weekend, so I'm in a moon boot for 6 weeks, but gives me more time to focus on fantasy, doesn't it? Exactly what I
I
need.
don't think there's any way you could have more time to focus on fantasy. I'll be working. I work a full-time job, and then you're like, hey, make this new team with no top four members. And I'm like, I don't have time for this. And you
Yeah,
say, it'll only take you 5 minutes. And I'm like, I don't have 5 minutes.
that was an interesting tweet, though. I saw that and thought, ooh, I wonder if I could do that. Your team was pretty good, though.
Yeah, I just selected all the top point players.
Well done. I will admit I didn't get around to doing it myself, but I will. Not this week, though. Today we're going to be looking at Game Week 11, speaking about the fixtures, and then have a look at our personal teams so far from Game Weeks 1 to 11 so far. So we'll analyze some of the points and data around that. And then hopefully that'll give us an insight into whether we're actually doing really badly or not. Because at the moment, you've mentioned that you're not too positive at the moment, but I think I can make you more positive about it overall. And then at the end, we're going to finish off with a bit of a quiz just from the FPL website, and we'll see how much we know about this week's game. How? You must be excited.
No, absolutely not. I don't think I know. This week, it started so badly. I remember on Sunday, I had 11 points in fantasy football. I just thought,
Great
no
start.
one in any. I was top of so many mini leagues, and then I noticed I'd fallen like to second or third.
Tell us about your game week.
Thank you. So in goal was Sanchez, and thank you very much to Sanchez for getting a red card, which means I don't have a goalkeeper playing for next week, just to add to my problems. I know you want to laugh. I can hear you laughing already. And in defense, I had Livramento. Livramento is gold, got me 6 points. Duffy came on. I actually brought Duffy in. He got me 2 points.
Who did
And
you who did
Trent got me 12 points.
who did you take out?
Who did I take out?
Marcel, the Wolf.
Ah, Marcel,
Yeah.
Marcel from Wolves. I kept Jota. Didn't really do much. Salah got an assist. Captain, 10 points. Townsend, 3 points. So not too bad. Got the clean sheet. Foden, 3 points as well. Ronaldo, 1 point. Huang, 2 points. And Antonio, 2 points. Just abysmal.
And on your
My
bench,
defense saved me.
yeah, it did.
Oh, my bench. Who did I have?
As
I
Piliqueta.
had Espeliqueta, 0 points. Didn't play again. I took a hit to bring this man in. This is what makes me angry, right? I brought him in for a hit, and he's done nothing for me. Williams got 2 points, and Alan got 3 points.
I think it's just again terrible luck with Aspilicueta, and James is really good form. Uh, I say it every week, but any other week he might be playing and he might be the one getting those points. So it's really unfortunate. But Livramento has been your consistent star over the last month, basically.
Yeah, consistent. And his next game is Norwich, so it's pretty much no way that he's not in my starting team next week. Is it 2 weeks or 1 week break?
I think it's about 10 days. So I'm not.
Is
Yeah,
it 10 days?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they won't play this weekend. They're playing the week after.
So as long as nobody gets injured on international duty, actually, Livramento is technically injured.
I saw he was yellow flagged. I'm not. I haven't looked into
Yeah,
it though. It's too early for me to care.
yeah. They called him up and he said, "No, sorry, I'm injured." I think probably just wants to be fit for his club.
most likely.
All right, let's go through your team. Go on. I'm going to just throw my phone away.
um, I had a very good week, obviously, as you mentioned. I got 73 points. I had Ramsdale in goal with 7. James with another assist got himself 7 points. Trent 12. Livramento, I finally played him, 6. Cancelo was the difference maker on that Saturday, and yeah, he got me 14. Considering the
Good
fact,
choice.
yeah, considering the fact that the last thing we spoke about last week was who I should bench between Rafinha, Cancelo, Diaz, and Tony. And I think you may have mentioned I should play Rafinha. He got himself 9 points, so thank you for that. Uh, Mbomo,
That was because you predicted Leeds to score goals. So
yeah, yeah, it made sense, but you helped. Mbomo got himself 2, very disappointing overall from Brentford's side. Foden 3, Salah captain, Vardy blank, unfortunately against Leeds, and Tony 1 point, again disappointing. On the bench, Antonio got 2, Diaz an assist. So I mean, not an assist, a clean sheet, but I mean I couldn't play him at the end of the day. And Brownhill got himself 1 point. So overall, oh, I forgot to mention. I told you on the weekend, the first time ever that this has happened to me. But every single person in my defense got a return, goalkeepers and defenders. Foster got a clean sheet, 11 points.
well,
Ramsdale,
Foster saved for penalty too, right?
yeah. So like it was insane. I could have bench boosted this past week, and I would have gotten 20 points on the bench boost, which is would have been insane.
I'm so glad you didn't pick Foster because I checked the league that we're in,
Mm.
and you're almost 100 points ahead. At this point in the season, it's normally even between us. And now my team value has taken such a hit. And for me to do anything to get these players with good fixtures in, I'm going to have to take such ridiculous point hits. So I've just accepted that. I should free hit after the international break. I should be like, you know what, my team's a mess. Just
you,
free hit.
you just use all your chips, consecutive
Just
weeks.
all of them.
We'll have a look.
Bench boost. Actually, I would never use bench boost with this. I would have got 5 points.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, but your bench hasn't been. You've put all your money into your starting 11 this season,
Yeah.
which we'll have a
I
look.
think I always do that. I think I always make that mistake.
Not necessarily a mistake. I think sometimes it just helps having a bit of cover at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's have a look at the
Well, if my
game week.
Chelsea defender would start, that might be useful.
It would. Looking at the game week fixtures, the results on Friday night we had Southampton and Aston Villa. Adam Armstrong getting the winner, which is again nice to see him scoring. But I mean, yeah, I did buy him on the wild card. He didn't play those first 2 weeks, and then he comes back and scores in consecutive games after I sell him, which is typical. Aston Villa, as I mentioned, they were most likely on the verge of sacking Dean Smith, and then of course they lost, and then Dean Smith got sacked. Do you think that was harsh or not?
Yeah, I do think it was a little harsh. They sold their star player. What? They've had some difficult games. I think he's done a lot for Aston Villa. But I also think it's understandable that they've had such a bad run. They want to stay up. But then I see the type of managers they want to bring in. It's between like Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard. And I just think, what are they going to do that your current manager can't do? Because Steven Gerrard has got a Rangers side in a terrible Scottish league. Like, there's no competition. Celtic are not good at the moment. And then Frank Lampard.
I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think Lampard's linked with the Norwich job as well.
I think they both are. I was reading they're both linked with Norwich. If it was me and I was offered a Norwich job, I'd just say no, unless I need a payday. Unless I want to buy a Lamborghini and I think they'll sack me after 3 months and pay my contract off, because there's no saving that Norwich team.
Hell no. I think they'd be planning for a rebuild, and they know they're
It's
going
just
down.
like you got to go down to the champ. But that's why I don't understand why Norwich didn't stick with their manager, because he won them the championships the championship 2 times, just let him go down again and win it again because he knows how to do that. So, but yeah, I think a little harsh for Aston Villa.
They've had some injuries of late as well. I mean, Danny Ings injured. Their new players
Yeah,
haven't gelled yet, but yeah, it's one of those things. The league is very cutthroat, and
yeah,
good luck to him wherever he ends up. On Sat
Norwich. I'll do a swap.
on Saturday, the first game of the weekend was, of course, the Manchester Derby, United versus City. Did you watch this at all?
No, I didn't watch this. The only game I watched was Everton versus Spurs. So I didn't even see highlights
Okay, fair
of
enough.
this. I just heard Ronaldo nearly scored a worldie, and that was it.
I think at some
You think?
stage, I don't remember when, but yeah, there
I
was a
think so.
moment. But besides that, the entire game was dominated by Man City.
Yeah,
Terrible
yeah. I
performance.
watched people complaining, mostly Man United fans, saying, "Why is Ollie at the wheel?" And everyone else likes that Ollie is at the wheel.
They do. It doesn't make much sense to me either, especially with Spurs getting Conte, and yeah, I don't see what the point is at the moment. But fair enough, they have an idea in mind, obviously, so let them go ahead.
I don't think they do have an idea in mind.
Well, they must have some plan.
Well, if they have a plan, nobody knows what it is, right? Even Ollie must be sitting there just like, well, just waiting for the call. Going to get sacked. Go back to who did he always manage?
Mulder, yeah.
Molde, Mulder. Or you could go to Cardiff City. They need a manager,
Imagine that.
which
Wow.
I, I don't think Cardiff City fans would want him either.
Imagine he got sacked by Man United and then he's actually on the table for Cardiff, and then Cardiff are like, nah,
They're
nah.
like, nah, you suck.
Speaking of sucking, the result that sucked for me the most was Brentford losing to Norwich. Completely
Yeah, we both
unexpected.
did not predict this. I think you made a joke that Norwich were going to win, actually.
I did, yeah.
And but it usually seems to be this way that Norwich can actually beat the other teams that they came up with in the championship. They know what type of football they're going to play. Uh, I was I was dreading this game because I was so annoyed about what I should do with my team. Like, should I bring Tony in because everyone was bringing Tony in? Should I bring Antonio or take Antonio out, bring Tony in? And in the end, I decided not to do it, and obviously, it worked out well this time.
It
And
was
then Tony probably get another price rise. Woo.
a good decision in the end not to get him. And yeah, okay, fair enough, a price rise, but at the moment, like, I don't plan on keeping Brentford and, I mean, yeah, I'm not keeping Tony and Mbomo for more than probably the next 2 or 3 weeks at most.
Yeah.
Um,
I just got to hope they keep blanking.
I kept them for this run, specifically against Norwich and Newcastle. So with Newcastle in mind, I might give Mbomo one more week. Tony will stay a bit longer because, thankfully for him, in the forwards position, there aren't any standout players at the moment. None of them are scoring. So, like Vardy
Yeah.
scored ages ago, but he's not scoring at the moment. Antonio scored it. He scores relatively consistently, but besides them, there's no one else. So, kind of just keeping.
Yeah, I saw someone, he just played five at the back for the last few weeks in fantasy football. He's just got one striker and he's smashing it. He's getting like 90 points or 100 points.
Yeah, defenders and midfielders have been dominating, especially if people went. I doubt there were people who were that ballsy on a wild card, but if they went for the wild card with, let's say, James, Chilwell, Cancelo, Diaz, and Livramento as a five at the back with one striker, you would have been pumping it these last few weeks.
Yeah. And
But yeah,
Trent.
and Trent, of course. But it's one of those things. And looking at the Chelsea versus Burnley result, Chelsea had a chance to extend their lead at the top of the table and playing pretty well. Probably got a bit complacent at the end, conceding the equalizer, but good to get another James assist. Can't complain at all. I expected him to get benched, so very happy.
I'm annoyed because I was going to bring James in because he was so much cheaper, and I thought, now I'll go with the player who keeps playing, and it turned out to be awful. But Burnley, fair play to Burnley, they have had some great results in the last few weeks. 1-1 against Chelsea, not bad at all.
They had a good chance to win it at the end as well. So I consider us kind of lucky to have gotten a point.
Well, it helps Chelsea, I guess, because they're sitting pretty at the top.
Yeah. Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Palace in extremely good form at the moment. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I remember when we first were talking about the teams we were worried about, and I think we both mentioned Crystal Palace, and we're like, why have they got this coach,
Yep.
an ex-Arsenal player who has no coaching experience, and they're doing great, man. Crystal Palace on fire.
Yeah, they've made. Okay, at the beginning of the season, I think we said that we were worried about them because they had released like half their squad, new manager.
Yeah.
But he's managed to sign a good few players, some on loan, some permanently, and he's getting the best out of what he has. I mean, Zaha
Mm.
and all the players I mentioned, like Gallagher and Benteke, all doing really well at the
Yeah,
moment. So,
Benteke's doing okay.
are you considering buying any of these Palace players? They've probably
Yeah, Gallagher's he's such a cheap price, isn't he?
they've
He's
got
one of those to come in.
great fixtures coming up. Zaha as well. I think he's 6.5, 4. So
Well, he's much cheaper than Jota, and Jota's also another one of those frustrating players in my team. Kept faith with him for so long.
yeah, we'll talk about him a bit later. But yeah, definitely, I agree with you in that on that point. Brighton versus Newcastle. Newcastle with their last game before Eddie Howe came in, and Brighton getting the red card for Sanchez at the end. Very, I didn't see what happened there, but yeah, unlucky, I guess, for a goalkeeper to get a red card.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I saw people tweeting like Sanchez red card, and I thought, what on earth is going on? How does a goalkeeper get a red card?
What do you think of Eddie Howe?
Seems like a nice guy.
He does.
Like to go down the pub with him, have a pint, have a chat. Uh, you know what? I think Eddie Howe did great at Bournemouth, and I think Newcastle need a coach who's going to come stabilize the ship, keep them in the Premier League, and then give them a bit of money. And then a few years later, they go get a premium coach. So I think he's a good coach at the moment for Newcastle.
Yeah, I think it's a decent hire at least. It's the kind of guy who, if it goes well, it's a good like way to build the team, or it's a good platform to set. And at the same time, if it goes badly and they get relegated, for example, you can still kind of leave him in the job. Whereas
Yeah.
if you had someone like, who was the other guy linked to them, the Villarreal manager, I'm blanking on his name, but
Arsenal,
yeah,
Emoy, Emery,
Emery, yeah. So
Emery. Yeah.
if he got the job and they got relegated, he would have been a like guaranteed sack or guaranteed quitting immediately
Yeah.
payout. So I think it makes sense longer term. They've got a new director of football as well, or they're going to be getting one. So
Yeah, I think Eddie Howe, if they go down to the championship, I think that's considered as well. If they go down to the championship, he could definitely get them back up within one season and get the ball rolling. They could have waited a few more weeks, and Mourinho would probably have been sacked. They could have got him.
yeah, or
He's doing so
Solskjaer.
badly. Or Solskjaer. He'd love the opportunity to go to Newcastle.
Yeah, but I think it's a good signing because he likes to play a pretty attacking style. Hopefully, he can get the defense going there. We'll see how things end up going. I won't be buying their players yet, though.
No,
That's for sure.
no.
No. Arsenal and Watford. We expected this result. Arsenal winning once again. Good result for them. Although they did score the goal from a bit of a dubious situation with them not kicking the ball out or whatever the case may be there.
So I watched this. I watched the clips because there was two complaints. There was one that Lacazette didn't kick the ball out when one of the players was down for Watford, but then one of Watford's own player was down and they didn't kick the ball out either. And To be honest, I think in that situation, if you're an attacking team, keep going. If it's a problem, the referee should call it back. When we were young, when we played football, we always taught play to the whistle. Always play to the whistle, unless the player is having a cardiac arrest or the leg is broken. I think it was a. I'm with Arsenal on this one. I think go and score the goal.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Damn, I said it again.
Tend to agree.
But yeah, I can see where Ranieri came from, him not being happy just from
Yeah,
a moral standpoint. But eh,
yeah, sure. But if it was the other way round, he would probably say the same. Well, you should play to the whistle. It's not our responsibility, really. I think Arsenal did the right thing. I think it wasn't that big of a player down.
I think it may also just be Ranieri uh, being a bit. He's showing some fighting spirit in the media
Yeah,
to try and g up his
he's a good
team as well.
character,
Yeah, like his
and
team did
he's
well.
he's not the type of manager who comes out and criticizes his own team. He always supports his own team, no matter what.
Yeah,
And so I think he did the right thing as a coach. He's got to criticize Arsenal. He's not going to criticize his own team in that situation. But for Arsenal to lose the first three games and what they're now fifth or sixth in the league,
I think yeah,
they're pretty high up.
level on points with Liverpool. I might be lying.
Are they level on? Well, there might be.
Level on points with
It
fourth
could be.
place, whoever that is.
West Ham is fourth, I imagine,
Oh no, I lie. They're 2 points off fourth place, but yeah, still.
or fourth place. Yeah. But at the beginning of the season, they still Ben White was to come in, Ramsdale's come in, and they look good. They haven't really played. They got Liverpool next, so you'll get to see where they really are. But pretty good for them.
They're
Arteta
managing
doing well.
to put stuff together, which is good for them. Get the points on the board, and yeah, hopefully they can do it in bigger games now too. We'll see.
Uh, and they're scoring from set pieces as well. So what you ask for, isn't it?
The next game, Everton and Spurs, the big debut for
This was the most entertaining 0-0 I've ever seen.
yeah, the big debut for
It was.
Conte.
Now I like the referee in this game because every time a player pretended to be injured, he just pulled out a yellow card. I couldn't believe how many yellow cards there were, man. There was one player who was grabbing his throat, rolling around, and the referee just carded him. And I like that because if I'm a referee, I'd do the same. I'd be like, "You're not a Hollywood actor. Get up." Because I really hate that about football. I hate that these players rolling around wasting time. Get up. You're not hurt. You're pansies.
Trying to milk the fouls whenever they can. Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst, man. But Everton definitely should have had a penalty. I'm 100% a penalty all day long.
That
Grabbed
was
his leg, man.
that was the Lloris thing, like the hand. But yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I said he had the hand on the ball, but I mean, I can see it either way.
because you messaged me like, nah, it's not a penalty. I was watching it like that is 100% a
I
penalty.
didn't. The
Got the
thing
ball
is,
first, but
I didn't see it in real time, so I was watching the Leeds game. But when you said
yeah,
possible penalty, I switched over and I saw the VAR essentially. So I was
mm,
seeing what the referee saw on VAR. So based on
in
that,
slow.
in slow mo, I thought he gets hands on the ball. Sure, he obviously skittles him, but he got the ball. So I was like, okay, no, it's going to be no penalty. But
That
yeah,
was a professional foul, man.
in real
Tripped
time, I
him
was
out.
like, ooh, okay, that's a bit.
I didn't see any interview afterward with Benitez. I'm sure he would have been annoyed.
I think he was uh, on the fence. He didn't see the footage, but he said that.
I hate that. I really hate when a coach comes out and says, I didn't see it. What?
Yeah, he meant
Why?
the
He
footage.
shouldn't be
Yeah,
a coach.
yeah.
If a coach comes out and says, I didn't see it, I would be asking him, what are you watching then? You watching Coronation Street on your phone? Seriously.
Watching the game
But
though,
0-0.
does this
Yeah. Well,
first of all? Okay, you've got two Everton players,
oh,
Townsend and Alan. How do you feel about
Alan.
them? And then how do you feel about the Spurs setup and the attacking players? Who are you keen on?
I mean, every time Son Heung-min got the ball, that's the only time I thought something's going to happen in this game. So Harry Kane going forward, I wouldn't be interested in Harry Kane. I think he's overpriced for the forwards. I think he's inevitably going to score. Has he scored in the Premier League yet?
I think once,
Don't think he has, has he? Has he once?
maybe once.
But yeah, he was abysmal, man. He just didn't look in the game. He was blowing. He looked knackered. So I wouldn't be bothered by him. Son or Regulon, those players. I really want Son in my team, but I have so many issues. I can't realistically get him in. For Townsend, I've had a lot of faith in Townsend for 4 games, no return. So I think possibly move him on.
Fair enough. Yeah, again, looking at the highlights, Kane is in my thoughts mainly because he's up front. So he didn't seem to be dropping too deep in the last match. So I like the fact that he's up front, even though he didn't do anything. So it's still a wait and see for me on that front. If I were to buy someone this week, it's probably going to be Son. But I'll wait and see until like the last minute before I decide.
I don't see what Kane has done to justify him being in anyone's team. The fixture list is good, but he just looks awful.
He'll be a very big differential though.
Yeah.
So for all the people who get Son, if you get Kane and it works, then massive jump. But it's a big risk.
I'm just hoping Ronaldo scores 3 goals against Watford. That's my differential. Just everyone's got rid of Ronaldo. He scored against Spurs. He's got Watford coming up. Yeah. Why are you shaking your head at me? Keeping faith. Their fixtures coming up are going to be amazing after Chelsea.
I don't doubt that their fixtures are going to be good, but yeah, I would have sold him ages ago, and then rebought him probably probably after the Chelsea game. But
I mean, now with Watford coming up, if I get rid of Ronaldo, I'm a fool because they're playing Watford. He's going to start and he's probably going to score or get an assist. It's Watford. And so then it's Chelsea the following week. Then you could argue I could try something, but the following week the fixtures are good. So probably just keep him in my team.
yeah, it's that roll of the dice though. If that helped, if selling him helps you to get 2 other good players though, surely it's worth it. Not necessarily, but
Yeah, if I sold him and I'm able to bring in Ronaldo, but the problem is the forwards. There's no forward I want to bring. There's no forward I think that will score more than him against Watford.
okay. But you'd have to look at like the next 3 game weeks then. So Ronaldo plays Watford, Chelsea, and then whoever the other team is. Whereas
Yeah, who knows?
you then sell your 5th midfielder and you get Son in for him instead, and you change your Ronaldo to your bench fodder, then you're going to get Son
Yeah.
versus the 3 good games that he has versus Ronaldo and his 3 good games. And who do you think scores more
Watch
there?
that. I'll get rid of Ronaldo. He'll score 5 goals.
It's possible. Who knows?
I said to you today, no cats would come visit me today.
And now they are 2. At least they're not hissing
Now
at
there's,
each other.
yeah, these two are friends at the moment.
Oh, good. Teams who aren't friends at the moment, though, Leeds and Leicester. Rafinha getting the goal for me. He's my friend once again. He's been I'm not sure how to describe him this season for me. I've had him since the beginning, and when he plays, he scores points. When he doesn't play, he's been injured, and Leeds have been bad. So there's always been a reason to maybe sell him, but even
Yeah.
now, where I could or maybe should sell him to get Son, I have no real reason to. So I'm probably not going to do that. But are you tempted by Rafinha by any chance? Maybe for a Townsend?
Uh, I think no. If I was going to get rid of Townsend, I want to go to Gallagher or I want to go to Smith Rowe. So possibly, probably not. No, probably not Rafinha. And I think Rafinha's quite a bit pricier now.
Probably still in that 6.5 range.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. It depends on your budget, but yeah.
Let me check. Let me check. I can't remember how much Townsend is. Townsend is 5.6, but Rafinha is 6.6. So it's a
Oh,
million more.
okay, yeah, not worth it for
But
you.
Smith Rowe is 5.8. And Gallagher, I think Gallagher's gone up in price as well. He's 5.8. You know, the big problem is this stupid Chelsea defender.
I mean, you could sell him and then you have your money right there. Some of
Yeah,
it, at least.
I was considering selling him for a Brentford player.
Oh no, don't do that. Brent's defense have been terrible since
I
Raya's
know,
injury. Don't do that.
but I need money. And they're playing Newcastle.
I would be very tempted. Okay, no, not in my team, not in your team, because you already have that Norwich defender Williams. But if I were to go
Yes.
for a cheap defender, I'd get the West Ham Johnson.
Oh, the 3.9.
Yeah, he's 4 million now, but yeah, him.
I need a goalkeeper, man.
I would take that on the chin if I were you for this week. He'll be back in 2 weeks' time, so just
Yeah.
have no goalkeeper for a week. What do you think of West Ham Liverpool? Surprise of the weekend? Question mark. Was it a surprise?
I like the way you asked me a question and added question mark just in
Yeah.
case I don't understand what a question is. Yes, it is the surprise of the weekend. I don't think we expected West Ham to get the result, but also
Should we have
should
though?
we be surprised?
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's the question. Should we be surprised by West Ham beating Liverpool? Liverpool have been so good. Like West Ham have been great, but Liverpool have been out of this world for the last few seasons. So yeah, I think we should be surprised, right?
Overall, I guess.
Overall, Liverpool is a star-studded team. Salah, Mane, Jota, or maybe not Jota, Trent, Robinson, Van Dijk, Allison. I think Allison had a howler of a day. It wasn't his best day.
Was not a good day.
So I think West Ham had a little bit of luck. Sometimes you need luck. It's great for West Ham. But for West Ham to be in the top four at this point in the season is great. I don't think they can sustain it. There's got to be a point where they have a bad run.
I think I read a tweet earlier this week. I'm not sure if it's all in the Premier League, maybe in the other cups as well, but I think I think West Ham have beaten City, United, Liverpool, Arsenal, and someone else already this season.
Yeah, so that's what my friend was saying. He was saying that they beat all the top teams they've played this season.
Yeah.
And so if that's true, then we shouldn't be surprised they beat Liverpool. I think Man United fans must be crying, thinking we should have kept Moyes. Look at this guy. Give him some time. He's a pro.
Would have been
Get Moyes back.
good for them.
Yeah, it
But
would be. But yeah, credit to Moyes. Credit to because when West Ham announced he was going back to West Ham, I remember thinking, what a weird choice. Why would you get Moyes back?
somehow
He's
it's
done a
worked.
fantastic
Yeah.
job. Yeah, he's this is better than Moyes ever was at Everton, for sure.
You mentioned earlier about Jota and whether you should keep or sell him. He's playing up front again. We don't know how long Firmino's out for.
Yeah, yeah.
If Firmino's out for another 2 or 3 weeks, are you going to keep him?
Excuse me while I have a cup of tea.
Okay.
I promise there's no alcohol in this. I know I'm a bit sad about FPL, but it's not that bad. It's difficult. If I want to get Son Heung-min, then I've got to get rid of Foden. I've got to get rid of Jota.
Or Ronaldo.
So, but or who?
Ronaldo.
I can't get rid of a goat. It's just not. Yeah, of course. If I want Son,
Yeah.
genuinely, if I want Son, I should get rid of Ronaldo
There are three
because there's
options.
no
You
other way.
mentioned them.
Yeah, if I get rid of Foden and Jota, I still can't afford Son.
Wow.
Because he's 10 point, Foden's 8, Jota's 7.
You can.
Yeah, and then yeah, but I would have to get one seriously terrible player. I can't even get Son and Gallagher or Son and Smith Rowe. I'm priced out of that.
That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. Not all of us are born wealthy, Challen.
I've been
FPL reflects my life.
I've been lucky on the wild card. That's all, with the price rises at least. Okay, speaking of our
Yeah.
teams, I thought I would have a look at some of the stats relating to our points, etc., and then compare them just so that we have an idea. But if you were to talk about your team in general, the first 11 game
Mm.
weeks,
Yeah.
how do you view how you've done so far? Are you happy?
Crap.
Oh.
No. The last year was amazing. The first 10 game weeks, I was so happy with. And last year, everyone had injury problems, and I somehow was rotating the players so well. My bench was great. I had no injury problems. But this year, every trade I have made has been wrong. When I took out Saka and I brought in Foden, bad choice. When I brought in a Chelsea defender, bad choice. Uh, I stick with players for too long, or I don't stick with players long enough. I don't think it's been going. I go to the slide and you left it blank, so I have no clue what you're going to tell me.
The internet.
But yeah, I'm pretty disappointed at the moment.
Yeah, all right. I'll get back to you. The internet's just being a bit slow on the side for some reason. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay,
I
it's
thought you were having a stroke
the,
or something for a second. I was quite worried.
the software is just refreshing itself, but it seems to be fine. Okay.
Are we
No, no, we're
offline?
on.
Are we
We're
still
on.
on? Okay.
Um,
I was worried all the blood went to your foot.
no, you were talking, but you started moving in slow mo. So I was like, oh, this is bad. But yeah, it's fine now.
I, Ultra instinct.
Yeah. So your idea of your team so far has been pretty bad. You're not that happy with it. So if you click on the
No.
that slide, you'll see an analysis of your or a graph of your results so far. So the blue, are you there?
Yeah, but
No,
nothing
not
happens, bro.
further up.
The fixtures?
No, below the fixtures. The next one.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Team analysis, the first slide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
points per. Yeah.
So you'll see there are your points per game week and the average points of the
Yeah.
game week overall. So you've done pretty well
Yeah.
in terms of like you've always been over the average in almost all the weeks.
Except this
Right.
game week.
Yeah, there was one game week, right? So you're not doing
Yeah.
terribly. You're actually doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And again, if you click for the next one, you'll see my team as
I,
well.
I
Very
don't want
similar.
to.
No, but I mean, look at it. It's very similar. Uh, game weeks 1, 2, 3, we were basically identical. Game week 4, you played your wild card and you outscored me massively. 5, 6, and 7. Look, game week 6, you're pretty high again. 7, very similar. I played my wild card in 8. Look, so it's very similar in terms of our overall curves, right? Except for this last game week where it changed a bit, but
Yeah.
largely similar seasons overall so far. So again, that makes you wonder, well, points wise, how or why? So just for those who couldn't read the graph, the next slide is just telling you what the points are so far. So total points and our average points over the game week so far. So to me, anyone getting over 50 points in a game week average is doing well. At the end of the season, you're going to end up with a high rank, guaranteed.
Yeah, I hope so.
There you will.
I got to somehow get back into it.
I was surprised at my bench points though. It's so
Yeah, your
many
bench points.
compared to yours.
That's Livramento.
Yeah, it basically is. He scored like 40 points on my bench. It's terrible.
Exactly. If Livramento wasn't in my team, in this graph, I would be so far behind.
Yeah. And yeah, your bench has been that low because you've basically put all your money in your first team, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
So looking at the next slide, you're talking about your transfers.
Yeah.
And the first one is yours, your transfers so far. You've done 11 total transfers. You've taken 12 points in hits, which isn't bad for this stage of the season. But look at
Yeah.
the next one, which I found most interesting when you see mine, especially the total immediate points gained from your transfers. So, had you not made those
Yeah.
transfers, you would not have gotten these points. But your transfers have netted you 47 points so far,
I'm shocked. It's
which is
quite good, isn't it?
it's insanely good. Look at mine. If you go to mine,
How have you only got 2 points?
okay, I've taken one less hit, one less transfer, but
Yeah.
my transfers have not been that great or not as effective as yours, which is
Problem is, I've taken 12 hits. So,
well, no, you've taken one more hit than me, which is that
yeah, it's true.
yeah, so it's -8 and -12, which is crazy to think. So you must have your transfers. I can't remember exactly what they were, but you've done pretty well so far.
And I think that wild card probably after, a few weeks after that wild card, I was doing quite good.
Yeah, I
It's
think
the weeks when Ronaldo does well that I'm banking in the points because when he does well, he scores 2 goals or he gets a goal and an assist. So I think that's when I do well.
it's a pretty good point. Yeah, him because most people had sold him over the last 4 or 5 weeks. That's why you've been
Yeah.
burnt so hard. But
Yeah.
maybe if he does well now, it'll give you a chance to catch up again. But I think looking at the stats, that you can't lie about these stats. All right, they're literally facts. It just depends on
Yeah.
how you
I'm
view your
shocked.
yeah. It depends on how you view your week, right? So you've assumed that you've been doing shit, but stats wise, not really.
But this week was pretty bad.
It was unfortunate, I would say.
It was pretty bad. I'm shocked I got 47 points when one of the players I transferred in hasn't played for 3 game weeks.
Would have been so much better had he
Honestly.
actually played. The next
God,
one,
yeah. If I brought in James, I would have had friggin' 100 more points, man.
the next one is your captaincy, and I will admit
Oh,
in advance, uh, the two graphs on the captaincy, I realized that the one under your name is mine, and the one under my name is yours. So just kind of view them opposite. But again,
okay.
captaincy wise, very similar. Again, you can see in the little table, game week 1 we captained the same player, game week 2 same player, game week
Yeah.
3 you that's where and this is where you'll see the big difference in our points. Game week 3 you got 4 points. Game week 3 I got 22. That was the week where we captained Antonio and you captained, I don't know, Fernandez, maybe.
Maybe it was Fernandez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next week you can see I get very similar until game week 6, I think. Again, where I get 10 more points than you. And yeah, so if you then add those points up plus the extra hit that you took, that's about 40 points just on
Yeah.
2 weeks of captaincy.
Yeah. My captaincy every time in fantasy football is quite erratic. And then the last few weeks I've been so set on Salah. And so even though he hasn't done amazingly well the last 2 game weeks, it hasn't been that detrimental.
And the next one, the next
Luckily.
slide, you'll see who have we captained in the 11 game weeks. You've captained Salah
Yeah.
7 times out of 11, gotten you a good average of points. Ronaldo,
Yeah.
not bad, I guess. For me, I don't think it's worth his price. And then I've
Yeah.
and then look at mine. I've captained Salah in 9 of those games, same average basically, and I've got
Yeah.
burned once by Lukaku. So I think I've been more stable or more consistent
It's
with
because
Salah.
you just picked. I think the lesson of this is you pick Salah and you just keep him as captain for the entire week because we didn't captain Salah when it was they were playing Man City, right?
Yeah, should have.
So that was when I captained Ronaldo, and then if I just left it on Salah that week, I would have smashed it.
I think I've realized that early on. I switched to what Lukaku. I only switched to Antonio that week because I don't remember the reason. I think Lukaku. I mean, I think
Antonio had a super good week.
yeah, he did. But Chelsea played Liverpool, and that was the game where James got sent
Ah,
off. Remember? And I didn't back
yeah,
Liverpool against the Chelsea defense, so that's why I didn't
right,
captain it. But
right. I
Lukaku
mean, it's a
burnt
good
me.
reason.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Lukaku burnt me once, but besides that, I've realized that yeah, just put it on Salah. So
just put on Salah.
long may it continue.
Just put on Salah for 1 year. and just see what happens.
Set and forget. But yeah,
Apart from in January.
yes, yeah, that's when things will change. But I think, yeah,
That'll
heading
be
heading
interesting.
into next week, I think it'll hopefully make us more positive about how we view our decision making. So,
But now I've seen I did so well in my decision making, I'm going to do worse.
just the opposite.
I'll be like, yeah, I'm good at this. I'm going to bring in, Smith Rowe.
You take like a -12 to get all these players in.
Man, I was so tempted. I was thinking I need to just take a huge hit.
I mean, yeah, it's the kind of thing that could pay off, and I would say if once you get to like game week 20-ish, and you aren't happy with your team, and you're way off, like 100 points off everyone, then I would just go for it. Do what makes you
Yeah,
happy, but it's still very
fantasy
early.
football this year is not making me happy, Challen.
Anyway, let's see if the FPL quiz from Game Week 11 will make you happy.
Okay, it's probably not.
We'll see. I don't know. I haven't done this quiz either, so we'll have to see about the results. This is just on the Premier League app and website, so you can find it there for this game week. We can answer the questions together, and we'll see how we do.
Yeah, we're going to discuss this.
We can just a bit, not much.
Yeah.
Uh, Question 1. Do you want to read
Which
them?
FPL midfielder has the second most points after Salah? Gallagher, Harrison, Mane, Son Heung-min. It's not Son Heung-min. It's not Mane. It's got to be Gallagher, hasn't it?
Yeah, with no thoughts in mind, I'm going Gallagher.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's go Gallagher. Oh, it doesn't tell you. It
It tells you at the end
tells
of.
you at the end of the quiz.
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
see.
come on.
Okay, question 2. Who was the king of the game week, earning the most fantasy points? Well,
Cancelo, no?
Cancelo got 14. Aubameyang,
Bamiyang missed a penalty.
yeah, it couldn't have been him. Fornell scored
It
though.
wasn't Trent.
Trent,
I'm saying Cancelo.
yeah, me too. We'll see.
All right, it's Cancelo.
Question 3.
Which player was transferred at the most ahead of the game week 11 deadline?
Ooh,
Maybe. Okay. I'm not going to discuss this one. I think I know this one.
it's not Danny Ings.
No, it's not Danny Ings. It's not Danny Ings.
Okay,
You choose Danny Ings. All
question.
right, I'm keeping this one a secret.
Yeah, question 4. Which player was transferred out the most? Alonso, Antonio,
Oh,
Ings,
that's
Smith
got to
Rowe.
be. That's got to be. Do we say it? No. I'm going to just click it.
I don't know. Well, they can see who I'm clicking, but yeah, you can't.
Oh, really? Okay, good.
Yeah.
What contributed to Becker and Bailey scoring negative points in game week 11? I have no idea. Conceded 6 goals. Who conceded 6 goals? Together, both of them. Got a red card, missed a penalty, scored an own goal.
No, but they didn't though. That's the thing.
Did any of them score an own goal?
Um,
Did they even take penalties? Did they get a red card? Did they concede 6 goals?
I think I know the answer to
know.
this. So I'm going to go with the answer that I'm going with. Are you done?
No, I'm trying to think of this. I don't even know who these players are.
Well, okay. West Ham beat Liverpool 3-2, and
Yeah.
City beat United 2-0. Allison is the keeper.
So it's
For
5. So it's not 6. Hold on.
Sanchez got a red card for the goalkeepers
Yeah.
this game week.
Missed a penalty. Scored an own goal. All right. Okay, I'll go with that one. Why not?
Question 6. Which two clubs are represented in the Kings of the Game Week team for the first time this season? By the way, if you don't know what Kings of the Game Week is, it's the highest scoring players of the game week.
In the team.
Yeah.
I mean, Norwich could be in there potentially because Norwich finally won.
For the first time. Which two
For the
clubs?
first time, right?
It's not Liverpool
Does
and Man
Norwich...
City. Yeah, it's not
No,
A.
it's definitely not Liverpool, Man City. So Newcastle got a draw and Norwich won. Oh, wait, Southampton. Oh, it could be Norwich and Southampton, right?
I've chosen my answer.
But Newcastle... It could be Newcastle and Southampton.
To be honest, I guessed.
Oh, Norwich and Southampton or Newcastle and Southampton? Newcastle and Norwich. I feel like Southampton in there,
Well, remember,
right?
Southampton beat Villa 1-0
They,
on Friday
yeah, they
night.
beat Villa 1-0 and Norwich won, but Newcastle drew. Okay, I'll go. Okay, I'll go Norwich and Southampton.
Question 7. Which of these
Which of these
combos
combinations? Oh,
scored
you
the
you
most
can read.
points? Okay. A. Gallagher and Zaha, Kane and Son, Bowen and Fornells, and Cancelo and Walker. Well, I know which one it isn't.
Definitely not Kane and Min.
Oh, that's a tough one
Oh,
because now I have to think
that is
about.
tough. Cancelo scored a ton, but Callaghan, Saha, Jared Bowen, and Fornells.
Bowen got a goal and
Is it?
assist, and Fornell's got a goal. Gallo got a
Yeah.
goal. Did he get an assist as well? Zaha scored as well. Oh, it's a tough one.
Did Walker do well?
Clean sheet.
So Walker and Cancelo together. Probably that, isn't it?
I'm going to go
It's not
with.
Callaghan, Saha.
I've chosen my answer.
I'm gonna go D.
Okay. Question 8.
Salah produced the 18th attacking contribution to the season in game week 11, which was the last game week when Salah did not produce. Oh, I know this. An attack and return. I know that.
Do I know this?
I know that because of my captaincy choice.
I think we just spoke about it, so I think it's that week, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Question 9. Following Ben Foster's penalty save, how many goalkeepers have earned themselves 5 points this season by denying a player from the spot?
This
How many
season,
goalkeepers this
how
season?
many goalkeepers?
It's
How
not
many
eight.
penalties have been set? There's been quite a few. Two? No, it's not two goalkeepers.
It can't be 18.
It's definitely not 18. Could you imagine 18 keepers?
In
What the hell?
11
It's like
weeks.
every team.
Uh,
Okay. I got my answer.
Me too. Last question.
Which of these players produced a double figure points return in game week 11? Henri, Pookie, Rafinha, or Smith Rowe?
Well, I have one of them,
Well,
so
we just saw that Rafinha got 9 points, right? Because I just saw your team, so I know it's not him.
it's not him. Yeah.
Smith Rowe scored and had a clean sheet, and he would have got a bonus point. We see these players produce a double figure, but Pookie scored, right?
He did.
What about Rico Henry or Henri?
He scored in the same game.
In,
He plays for Brentford. He plays for Brentford. He's a defender for Brentford.
but they conceded. Oh, go ahead. Oh, yeah.
I'm going.
I did it.
Let's see. I got 6 out of 10. What did you get?
I got 8 out of 10, baby.
Nice. Okay, wait. Show your answers.
All right. So
Question 1.
Gallagher.
Yep.
Who did
2.
you go?
Gallagher. 2.
2, Cancelo.
Yep.
3, James.
Yes.
4, Danny Ings.
I went Alonso. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, Danny Ings was injured. So I was like, everyone get him out.
I didn't know they still had him. That's why I didn't choose him. 5.
5, I put scored no goal, and that was a guess. I had no idea.
I knew that, so yeah, I got that as well.
Oh, I had no idea, so I didn't.
Yeah.
And then, which 2 clubs are represented in Kings of the Game? I put Norwich and Southampton,
Me
but
too.
it was Newcastle and Southampton.
Yeah. I said Norwich.
Oh, that's surprising, eh?
It is.
Which of these combinations scored the most points? I went with the City Bear.
Damn it! I went
Cancelo.
Bowen and Fornells because yeah. Okay.
Oh, I want that. Following Ben Foster's penalty, I put 4.
Yeah, me too.
So I
I got
thought
4.
2's, yeah.
And
then which of these
Salah,
players produced a double point? I put Smith Rowe.
I knew it was. You got 9 as well. I went Temu Puki. It was Henry. Wow.
Henry.
Yeah. And
It's not bad though.
question about Salah, his last attacking return
His
was
last.
not in. It was in game week 2.
It was in game week 2. Oh,
Yeah.
did I miss that one?
Yeah.
Where was that?
Question 9. No, question 8.
Question 9. Question 8. Yeah, I knew that because in the second week, I captained Fernandez. And it was game week 2 where I was like, come on. Oh no, did I captain it? I can't remember. I remember it was game week 2.
Okay, well done. Got 6 out of 10. Oh, you got 8 out of 10. Well done.
8 or 10.
If I see these
Good
every
at
week,
predict.
yeah. If I
Yeah.
see these every week, we might just do them every week. Depends on whether they release them or not.
I'm better at predicting than I am fantasy football, man.
Okay, we won't be doing our teams for this week yet because it's still international break. So we'll have a look at them next
Yeah.
week when we'll talk about all the plans and all that stuff. So yeah, we're basically done. The social media plugs again. If you want to follow us on social media, Twitter and Instagram at FanChallenged, on YouTube, Fantasy Challenged one word, or you can follow us on whichever podcasting platform you listen to, Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, wherever. Just type in our name and you'll find us. We are there. And anything else you want to say, Leighton?
No, I'll see you next week when we pick our teams for game week. What's the game week? Game week 12?
Yes. Are you
Game week
feeling
12? Yeah, for game week 12.
feeling more optimistic about FPL after this?
No. No, I am actually. I'm surprised that I got so many points from some of my transfers. Still have absolutely no idea what I'll do. So I think next week we'll speak about that in more detail.
Yeah, sure thing. All right. Have a good break, and I will see you next week. And
You too.
cheerio, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Cheerio.